Welcome to my video. These are going to be my thoughts on The Bear Season 3, Episode 3. This episode is called Doors. Spoilers for the entire show leading up to and including this episode, another episode I love. And the show, let's see, I believe it's like age rated 16, so will this video be? Let's dive right in. So we open on the appropriately solemn funeral before we go back to the manic energy of the rest of the episode, which is, yeah, it's expected for this show. Yeah, very, very powerful scene of the funeral, you know. Everyone who goes up picks a card, any card. I think Marcus's speech is great. Wish I got to watch fucking RoboCop when I was a kid. No, I don't. I waited until I was basically ready for that movie. Verhoeven does not fuck about. But yeah, you know, very, very moving speech. You know, it's when you do that kind of thing, it's important to find a good balance. Like, obviously, you're talking about what the person meant to you, but you don't want to just make it all about just you. It's about them. It's a eulogy, not a melogy. And yeah, some great acting. There were some great close-ups during the eulogy on the different characters, and just, yeah, love when someone can convey a lot with just the facial expression. Like, there's no major movement. They don't have lines. It's just the face, you know. It's some of the toughest acting to do. And I think that might be about what I have to say about the funeral itself. I don't know. Have I been making too many morbid jokes about the you know, I get it. It is obviously a very serious, solemn thing of a funeral. You know, that this poor woman died of an overdose of melodrama. Seriously, that season 2 finale was pretty ridiculous. I liked it when I watched it, but, you know, given the benefit of hindsight, that was kind of OTT. Yeah, a lot of great moments throughout the entire rest of the episode as well. Not super surprising that it practically comes to blows. Like, they're you know, if not for Marcus, Richie and Carmy would. I wonder how long Marcus has been, like, you know, I feel like every time either Richie or Carmy speaks the other's name or says fuck or something, Marcus is like, is this it? Are they gonna, you know, am I gonna have to separate them now? You know, just, yeah, that was. And I appreciate, you know, Sid doesn't really let him off the hook. Like, afterwards, you know, she's like, you need to calm down. I'm not asking. You know, she doesn't say the exact words, but I feel like it was in the air. It wasn't just Richie who was out of line. You know, you weren't exactly de-escalating the situation. You had to be restrained as well, and kept away from him as well. Love the pettiness of Richie writing his own non-negotiables, and some of them, it's, you know, Carmy's like, that's on the list. Did you not read? I specifically told you, you're just doing this to fuck with me. You didn't read the fucking list, you know, just, and some of it is like, you know, the dream weave, and you know, basic man. What did I just say? That was very funny. Yeah, I very much, the frustration felt by Nat and Jimmy is palpable. You know, the thing with the butter, you know, it's Orwellian. It's dystopian butter. No, it's Jimmy. It's you know, what was it? Or it's from Orwell, Vermont. You know, the butter's not dystopian. The concept of taking a, you know, rather than trying to fix up a struggling, you know, sandwich restaurant that serves the working class, taking that place and turning it into this wealthy, gentrified bullshit, that's dystopian. Just because I love the show doesn't mean I can't criticize it. Let's see, yeah, very overpowering montage. Like, they really, I don't know if, I feel, were they expecting people to be like, the first episode wasn't that tense, and then the second episode it was kind of tense, but it was mostly people shouting "fuck" at the top of their lungs. It was like they were trying to break the record set by the South Park movie Big Long and Uncut, and the rather than the, I don't know why Imagination Land is considered a movie anyway, and the yeah, here we're back to the chaos in the kitchen, and yeah, this montage of plates breaking, people dropping shit, and all this stuff. Neil, I love you. Please stop trying to serve. You are not good at, just, I'm going to pour it right in front of you. And then he, big smile on his face. I did good. And walks out like a Labrador that like, did something that it would think was good. But the owner's like, Jesus fucking Christ, just, I poured it right in front of him. Then why is it back here? And I appreciate Richie being like the one to yeah, his relationship with Neil is somewhat different from Carmi's. So yeah, and then the other time where he's trying to pour water and make small talk, but he's so focused on the small talk that he's accidentally pouring directly onto the tablecloth, and just yeah, that was. And meanwhile, we get some close-ups of the patrons, and they're like, should we tell him? That was pretty. Richie dealing with the table who are staying too, full table staying too long. Very clever, nobody likes to be told, you gotta get out of here, that's just, but yeah, telling them, would you like to see the kitchen? That's like, oh, backstage, wow, suddenly they don't realize that they've just been asked to leave the table, so that was a great, and it's one of those things, like, Richie is, of course, exasperated that, Carmi fucked it up shouting. It's not like there's a good time to enter that kitchen, that's the MO. That's how it always goes. Carmi be shouting. That's just, yeah. Yeah, we got some of the little bit of the what's it called? The sort of conflict between whether or not Carmi or Sid is in charge. This thing of, yeah, some of the time she's kind of running it, and she's some of the time better at it than he is. And he's definitely, he is not good with the employees, and she is, helping Tina, for example. I appreciate she still says Jeff instead of chef, at least some of the time. And yeah, I mean, basically Carmi's bringing the baggage of the asshole chef. Yeah, the character from the New York, I would say, flashbacks. Yeah, Joel McHale playing an asshole, really stretching his acting muscles there. I do find him very funny. Not necessarily in the show, but other stuff. And let's see, what was the other thing that I wanted to say? The thing with bowls, kind of funny, just, these are 3 fucking different sizes. Do you not see a problem with this? Just, and yeah, Jimmy calls it, Carmi is a 3-year-old playing with too many crayons. He does not have this under control at all. And this thing of, he buys something and then he uses it once, and that means, it was basically a wasted expense. They can't make the money back on it if he keeps buying new stuff and then not using the stuff he already has. So yeah. Again, we're seeing the perfectionism. That is his major character flaw. He's incredibly talented, but he has zero chill. Right, I like that during the montaging, we see him get several of the what are they called again? The gum that you chew to quit smoking. I forget. Did we find? I think the fact that he quit smoking was because it was his fuck up that got them a C from the what was it? The hygiene check thing, because he was the fuck up who left cigarettes right near the boiler plate. I want to say it's called, I mean, I suppose it's possible that he quit smoking because it would kill his palate, but I feel like his palate would die happy. Sydney's right, talking to Tina. You know, it takes less time to do it right the first time. Did you not watch True Lies? I guess I'm probably one of the only people who did. I think that might cover... yeah, I think they're doing a good job of, you know, it is very much... It is very much an episode of The Bear, you know, with all the stress. But we are also seeing, you know, it's not just like, you know, it's not running on fumes. It is actually building towards, you know, we're seeing, like, basically Carmi is trying to make sure everything runs perfect, but he can't really, you know, yeah, his mind goes to Claire Bear, and, you know, he's struggling. They're all struggling, and he is refusing to accept that he's pushing himself too far. You know, Sid has to be very firm with him, and that might be what... I do appreciate that they do still sell sandwiches. Fuck, I can't read my own handwriting. Been there. Let's see. I feel like that might be everything. I'm just gonna real quick see. Let's see if there's anything on the IMDb page that is. Let's see. Yeah, so IMDb trivia for this episode. Richie says, what about the ones on Orleans and Huron? This Chicago intersection is the actual location of Mr. Beef, the real restaurant that serves as the set of The Bear. Let's see, and... Yeah, Carmi tells Uncle Jimmy the butter he wants is Orwellian. Jimmy misunderstands by asking if it's dystopian butter. Thinking Carmi means the author of George Orwell. Carmi replies it's butter from Orwell, Vermont. An invoice from the butter company flashes on screen, revealing it's from Old Major Butter Farms, a reference to the rebellious pig character in George Orwell's novel Animal Farm. Very nicely done. Let's see, and... Towards the end of the episode, Richie sees a fork lying next to a table. It is common practice of Michelin inspectors to leave a piece of silverware next to a table to see if a member of the wait staff will pick it up. And let's see. But yeah, I think they did a really great job this episode of, like, underlining, you know, this is not sustainable. Everyone is making at least some mistakes. You know, tempers are flaring. They're bleeding money. You know, something is going to have to change, and you know that's gonna be difficult for Carmi to accept. Yeah, I think that is everything. Yeah, I thought they served the various characters quite well. Yeah, that is everything. So, yeah, gonna try to do the next episode sometime next week. And, yeah. Hope to catch you then. Doors!